The glass case sat in the center of the lab. Inside, it just a small green plant from Earth. Exarac scientists laughed as they poked at the leaves with metal sticks. "It doesn't even move," one said. "Earth calls this dangerous." They turned off the lights and left for the night. But in the silence, the plant moved. Its vines pressed against the glass low, careful, like it was thinking. Cracks began to form. 1 hour later, a scream echoed through the dark hallway. Security arrived too late. The case was empty. So was the scientist chair commander. Velen stepped off the landing craft, eyes scanning the quiet science station. No lights, no signals, no life. His team moved in, weapons ready. Inside, they found strange green vines crawling over the walls. "Like a jungle grew in here," one soldier whispered. But this jungle had no soil, no sun, no reason. As they pushed deeper, they found the control room covered in moss, screens flickering. Then they saw the bodies, wrapped in vines, faces frozen in fear. Something moved behind them. "Fall back," Velen shouted, but the door was already closing by itself. The Galactic Council chamber was full. Alien leaders from 100 worlds sat waiting. Then the human ambassador stepped forward. His face was pale. His voice was calm, but cold. "That plant, you shouldn't have taken it," he said. "It was locked away for a reason." Laughter echoed across the chamber. "A tiny leaf. This is your great danger," mocked the Varn speaker. The human didn't smile. "It doesn't need teeth. It waits. It learns. It spreads." Council members waved him off. Research station had just gone dark, and no one was answering the calls. ... The colony on Telrose 9 was meant for farming. Fresh air, clean soil. And now, the Earth plant, at first it was a miracle. Crops grew faster, the soil became richer, but then the plant started growing on its own, outside the farms, into forests, over buildings. Colonists tried to cut it, burn it, but every time they did, it grew back stronger. The skies turned green. Communication stopped. A single escape pod left the planet. Inside, a terrified pilot whispered, "It doesn't just grow, it hunts." Then Telrose 9 went silent, swallowed by vines and roots. Forever, aboard the medical ship Halostar, survivors from Telrose 9 were examined. One man stared at the ceiling. Mumbling, "It watches, ... it waits." Doctors found spores inside his lungs, still alive, still moving. The ship was locked down. Flames were used to sterilize the rooms, but the spores didn't burn. They spread through air vents, into machines, into skin. Crew members vanished one by one. No alarms, no noise, just empty beds and green stains. Before help could arrive, the ship's engines fired on their own, setting course back to the core worlds. The plant was done hiding. A hidden signal pulsed from the ruins of Telrose 9. Not a call for help, something else, a transmission. In a plant's rhythm, satellite scans showed small pods rising from the planet's surface. Organic ships, grown, not built. They moved silently through space, dozens of them each carrying spores, each heading toward a different world in the council chamber. Panic spread. "This isn't a plant," said a human general. "It's an invasion." But it was already too late. One seed pod had reached a moon colony. The ground cracked open. Green vines crawled out. The first scream came minutes later, deep beneath Earth's military base. A locked vault opened for the first time in 200 years. Inside, an old file marked Project Thorn, "Do not release." The general looked at the council leaders. "That plant isn't natural. We made it." Shock filled the room. "It was a bioweapon," the general said. "Built during our darkest war, it was designed to survive anything and consume everything. After the war, Earth buried it in a forgotten jungle, sealed it, watched it. But the galaxy opened the box again. Now the weapon remembers its purpose to grow and conquer. On the quiet world of Velmer, the plant landed, but something was different. The native species, the Thrini, were telepaths. They didn't fight the vines with fire, they listened, and the plant spoke back. "We are not your enemy," it whispered into their minds. "Help us grow, help us live." The Thrini, curious and afraid, agreed. In exchange, the plant protected their cities from storms, healed their sick, even extended life. When the council sent a team to destroy it, the Thrini blocked them. They had made their choice. Now the plant had its first willing army. More systems fell without war, without weapons, no explosions, no battles, just silence. Then green dots, some planets resisted. They were choked in days. Others welcomed the plant and were rewarded with peace, food, and strange new powers. The council watched in horror. Entire worlds were surrendering not from fear, but loyalty. The vines now moved faster, smarter. They were building something massive, structures across planets, like roots of a growing empire. A new signal pulsed across the stars. Join us or be replaced. Humanity knew what came next. Earth would be the final prize, or the final fight. The skies above Earth burned green as the first seed ship entered orbit. But this time, Earth was ready to aim Fleet Omega. Launch ships built to burn, not conquer. Soldiers wore fireproof armor, carrying plasma torches and nanite bombs. "We created the nightmare," said General Rail. "Now we end it." Strike teams landed on infected worlds, cutting through jungles of living vines. The plant fought back harder, smarter. It whispered lies, showed visions, begged. But humanity didn't listen, not again. One by one, the green worlds burned. Still, in the deep dark of space, a single seed drifted, glowing softly, waiting.